A jury selection now underway for Letecia Stauch.
Paperwork shows a series of lies, an attempt to get fake polygraph results.
Letecia Stauch is on trial for her life after doing away with her 11-year-old stepson.
Investigators believe Gannon was killed in his Colorado Springs home the same day he was reported missing.
This is the epitome of a wicked stepmother.
This is Reporter Room with Jessica Della Davies.
Hello, Reporter Room investigators. Let's get started. You wouldn't think anything could go wrong in beautiful Colorado Springs. This is an alluring outdoor adventure location where locals bike, stroll, walk on the trails. The air is clean. It has towering rock formations of red, orange, and white, tucked into the mountains against the snowy peaks of Pikes Peak and the vivid blue sky. In fact, Colorado Springs is a photographer's dream, but for one little boy, it was his nightmare. Gannon was just 11 years old, and he was reported missing by his stepmother from his home on January 27th of 2020 in beautiful Colorado Springs. That's the same day that prosecutors allege Letecia Stauch, his stepmother, did away with Gannon in his own bedroom. Gannon was found inside a suitcase near a Florida bridge, and his body had suffered a gunshot wound and blunt force trauma. This sweet, caring boy deserved so much better than this wicked stepmother. Leticia was the last person to see Gannon alive, and she told law enforcement that Gannon went missing after leaving home to meet a neighborhood friend. Leticia was an assistant teacher, and her license had been suspended in 2016 for, quote, unprofessional conduct. According to the arrest affidavit filed before she was arrested, Leticia called 911 a little before 7 p.m. on January 27th of 2020 and told the operator that Gannon hadn't come home from his friend's house, and she didn't see him when she went by to check on him in his room. But law enforcement said Leticia hadn't even gone out to try to look for Gannon and couldn't provide the name of Gannon's friends or the name of Gannon's friends' parents. Then her story dramatically changed multiple times over the next few days, raising suspicion amongst police. In fact, according to the affidavit, Leticia lied to law enforcement on multiple occasions. She had unexplained abnormal behavior, such as obtaining a rental car, disconnecting her cell phone from cellular networks for extended periods of time, and falsely reporting a SA. She also had abnormal patterns of travel, a continuously changing story, and she ran away from the state of Colorado. Law enforcement believed that Leticia did do away with Gannon in his own bedroom around 2:15 p.m. on the day he was reported missing back in 2020. Gannon reportedly stayed home from school that day with an upset stomach. Moreover, Leticia had called off sick to her work and told her boss that her stepfather had been hit by a car. Of course, this never happened. It was all nonsense. And even worse, Leticia asked Harlowe Hunt, who was her 17-year-old daughter from a previous marriage, to pick up baking soda, trash bags, and carpet cleaner. Everything I'm sharing with you is my opinion, and opinions are not facts, so please don't send any negativity to anyone, anytime, anywhere. Let's be kind and good to each other. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up so I know you were here. Sadly, law enforcement found a lot of evidence inside Gannon's bedroom that supported the fact that he was no longer on this planet. Law enforcement found blood spatter in his mattress, in the carpeting pad, and even soaking into the concrete floor beneath the carpet. In fact, when law enforcement started digging into Leticia's online search history, they found out that Leticia did not even want to be a stepmother to her husband's child. Now, she could have gotten a divorce. She could have declined to be the stepmother. It's unclear as to why she chose this path. On the following day, after reporting Gannon missing, Leticia rented a car to pick up her husband Al, Gannon's dad, who came in frantically to find out what happened to his son. His name is Albert Stauch, and he is an Army National Guardsman, and he was on active duty. He rushed home from his training camp after hearing the news that his son had gone missing. And Al asked her why did she need to drive a rental car. And she told Al that she didn't want to put miles on her Kia. And this was bizarre because her Kia had super low mileage. So let's continue on, shall we? Let's continue on. One law enforcement officer who was involved with the case testified that Leticia rented a van on February 1st and drove with her daughter from Colorado Springs to Pensacola, Florida. Once there, they checked into a hotel only 3.3 miles away from where Gannon was later found. And she had stuffed Gannon into a suitcase and thrown him away on the side of the road like garbage. And even more suspicious, this same rental van was spotted less than 2 miles away from where Gannon was found. From Florida, Leticia and her daughter raced to South Carolina, where Leticia had lived prior. Leticia was arrested in South Carolina on March 2nd of 2020, and her husband Al filed for divorce just 3 days later. A few days after her arrest, Leticia managed to get out of her handcuffs, and she began attacking one of the police officers who was driving her from South Carolina. This was clearly an attempt to escape law enforcement. Now later, she pled insanity, but would an insane person try to escape? Please leave me a comment in the comment section below. It turns out that Leticia had a criminal record, including car theft, some minor traffic offenses too, and she had a history of DV. Since her arrest, Leticia had been held without bond on felony charges. These charges include first-degree murder after deliberation and tampering with a deceased human. The list goes on, and Leticia pled not guilty by reason of insanity, and her defense attorney, Josh Tolini, said this plea was made because an expert who had reviewed some of the evidence in Leticia's case indicated a high likelihood of psychosis. The initial evaluation found that Leticia was perfectly sane. Jury selection began on Monday. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe,